What's up, everybody? It's your boy Showtimedr. So, we're gonna do... This is actually gonna be a video for why you should play Langrisser Mobile, as well as kind of a review of up until this point, so the month of January, which I think it was out for about half of, maybe a little less. And just some of the funny things that have happened in this game, and the stuff that I appreciate. So, as far as features go in this game, really interesting stuff. There is a real-time PvP, not only in this event here in the arena, but also in, just unlocked it fairly quickly here, but also in, like, you can challenge your friends to real-time PvP. So this game, for those who don't know, it's a tactical RPG. It's more like a Final Fantasy Tactics or Fire Emblem style game. So the way that real-time PvP works, you are actually facing off against your enemy team in real time, the enemy team's commander, and you each get to move one piece. It's not move a bunch of pieces and then they react. It's one guy moves one piece so that you can't just have like a really quick, you know, one-hit kill, someone got lucky on the first turn type thing goes on. It's actually strategic. And I think that's really cool. Now, not only that, but also when you go into the secret realm here, like let's say, well, they do have a limited time event, which you can come in and do. They have a couple now, where, you know, at certain times of the day, you can go and run stuff with your teammates. But then there's also the daily challenges, which you can also do the same thing. So let's say I want to do Anarchy Gym here. You know, you could come in, hit team. This is for upgrade materials, by the way, guys. There's some teams you could join, or you could just make your own group. Invite friends and guild members only, or a private invitation, and you can run with up to 2 people these dungeons and get... They actually incentivize you in this game to do this, because it's not just, well, do this or else, or do this quest reward. It's, you get 20% more drops on top of the first 2 bonuses of the day, which are 500% more drops for the bonus. Some dungeons have 1 bonus, some dungeons have 2 bonuses. But whatever, the bonus is enough that you can run the dungeon, you know, 1 time, 2 time, whatever. And if you want to, be done and get a perfectly good amount of farm there, or you could just keep farming it if you wish. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, another thing that I really appreciate about this game, so check out the bag. I'm not even sure myself, but it does not appear... Maybe that is it. So it's only B2. Well, up until this point in the game, I haven't even run out of item slots yet. So there has never... Because most gacha games, they do that thing where it's like, okay, you got 100 inventory space and 100 of equipment space, 100 of item space, 100 of whatever space, character space. And then, of course, it's never enough, so then they try to give you the... You can upgrade your backpack, or however much of the pay currency is usually how it works. And then so that ends up... And then another tactic that they do, they end up flooding your inventory with like 2-star either monsters or equipment or minions or whatever. And then you have to run around and like, oh great, I gotta use all this stuff to upgrade, or... And it's like, they bother you about it so much that eventually you just give in. You're like, okay, I gotta upgrade my inventory. But in this case, look at all this crap I have. I haven't upgraded my inventory once. I'm not even sure it's a mechanic in the game. It probably is. I mean, seriously, look at all this crap I got. Like, honestly, I need to go through and spend some of this. I've actually been fairly lazy about this. And look at that scroll. And there we go. And who knows, if I fill it up with 3 more things, maybe it keeps going. But it's just, I can appreciate that, because it's nice not to have to deal with the typical gacha mechanic stuff of equipment and expanding your inventory and etc. So this game had a pretty rough launch. There was a cacophony of errors, I'm not really going to get into them, that the dev team went through. And they righted probably all of them, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because like chat used to be really obtrusive, and it would always get in the way of the dungeons you were doing. Like it was like half the screen, and they fixed that very quickly. They also fixed for people who were complaining about the 5-star drop, they ended up giving most of us a free 5-star character. And then, although I think they should have made that last like at least a week longer for newer players, but whatever. And then they've given us a good amount of quest rewards between events and Path of Light, and of course all the daily missions and stuff. The troop training is actually one of the funner parts of this game, believe it or not. And then as for the banners, there are people that complain about the banners, because I think the banners are at like 2.4% chance to get a SSR character. But I mean, honestly, that feels like typical gacha rates to me, so... Yeah, and let's see here. Yeah, I guess it doesn't show it here. Well, anyway, so, but then there's like 4 banners, which is pretty good. All those characters are all pretty damn good, too. And then, so, there is, it's funny, they've managed to make a lot of the stuff in gacha gaming not feel like gacha gaming, if that makes sense. Like upgrading your gear, everything makes sense. The quest rewards make sense. You can min-max if you want, or you can play casual if you want. Upgrading the characters, it's not a matter of getting X amount of characters, even though that does help. You can actually come to this Bonds dungeon and, like, here, I'll show you guys. Once you have the character, and then go and do their Bond mission. And like I've already beaten this, so I can just sweep it. Boom, there's a copy of the character. I get enough copies, I can upgrade their rarity. And I can do that with every character. And I just gotta say, I've had a lot of fun with the community in this game. Like, there's like a little bits of salt, you know, that's just the way gacha gaming is. But it's not like this unending salt mine that just collapses on you whenever one thing goes wrong. And ever since the launch, honestly, I can't think of one thing that's been like really crazy, like, oh my god, this needs to be nerfed or buffed or whatever. Like, I think it all makes sense. And I also appreciate that on the equipment, they keep the percentages lower. Like, it's not like, you get 200% of XYZ thing. Like, here, let's show an example. Yeah, 3% when troop HP is above 80%, 3%. 3% is actually pretty huge in this game. Magic defense, 1.5%. HP, 2%. But eventually, once you level these up, it can get into the higher percentages. But I'm just appreciative that, you know, I don't have to do crazy amounts of math just to figure out what something's giving me. 1 to 2% versus some other games where it's like 55,000%. Like, your crit is now 1,792 rating. Like, what? Although this game does have the rating thing with something like that. But one of the other things that's pretty funny, though, is they had, for those who remember, I wonder if I could actually show it. Let's see if I can actually show it, because it's pretty funny. Alright, so we'll go here. I don't know if they removed this or not, but I'm going to take a chance that they didn't remove it. Yeah, let me turn the game volume up. Put this on pause. Alright, skip. And this is such a low-level instance, it really shouldn't matter what I put down. Oh, also, one other thing I really enjoy is the power creep in this game. Tactically, actually gets fairly difficult once you get to level 20, and then again right around level 35 when faction buffs come out. So, like, check this out. So what used to happen, I think Banter's on, let's see. Yeah. Ah, it's not flashing across the screen anymore. Yeah, this was only like a level 12 dungeon. I don't know. Oh, did they completely take the banter out? Ah, man, that sucks. Okay, well, I guess I get it now. Well, what used to happen was they would have a bunch of stuff float across the screen, and it would say, you know, like N-word, Hitler, you know, body part. And then occasionally you'd see like, oh yeah, the hidden chest is right by the bridge, and, you know, such and such characters thick, and all that crap. And then so that would all fly across the screen, and there was a lot of people that would get triggered. They'd be like, oh, my virgin eye sockets! They'd be like, you gotta absolutely do something about this. This is unacceptable. And so, but what I noticed is, what's funny is before they removed banter, right about level 20, you saw a lot of the troll text disappear. And someone pointed it out to me one time, and they were like, you know, that's right when the first power creep starts for how hard things get. I was like, so the trolls got to that point, and they were like, I gotta actually invest in this game now and put effort in. I'm gonna go back to League of Legends, or whatever the hell they play. That was some funny stuff, man. So... Anywho, I always found that pretty humorous. But it's just funny because, like, there's a lot of people that gave up on this game. And granted, they made some mistakes at the beginning, but there's a lot of people that gave up on this game that don't realize just how fun a game it is. Because, you know, they get too invested, and I have to have SSR characters, or, yeah, you really don't. It's nice, but you really don't. I have 3. And I use 2 of them. The other one I barely use, because I'm not using assassins that much early right now. But anyhow, so... But yeah, everything just makes sense in this game as far as the missions, the upgrading, how powerful you can get your characters. All the dungeons rotate to the point of being... like, they don't get standard. You know, like, it doesn't become a chore of, I gotta run X dungeon, I gotta run Y dungeon. Yes, there are the same dungeons for some of the things. But the Secret Realm, they managed to rotate, like, the limited time dungeons. This one, it's like every day of the week it's different, which is pretty cool. Sometimes you have to hold a certain position, sometimes you just gotta kill everything on the map, sometimes you gotta take a position, etc. And then with, not this one... There's a Timeless Trial. That one's insane. It's like, for those of you that played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, it's kind of like that, to where they changed the rules of a dungeon. So, like, let's see what this one is. When battling against mages and holy units and demons, all stats are increased by 50%. So... And it's stuff like that, like it'll say certain people of certain factions or certain class types, etc. They either get a stat increase or decrease, which makes you play a different way, because if you're all such and such unit, and then you gotta use some other units, okay, I gotta mix it up. In this game, the devs have set in, I believe it, to where you can't use just like one super team to clear everything in this game. And I appreciate that, because it's not like Knights Chronicle was, where Knights Chronicle was like, oh yeah, you got this really good unit, but he's so good that we're just gonna nerf him in every dungeon where he would be useful from now on, because he's just too OP. And it's like, then why did you even give me the character? And in this game, you could still use your characters, but it gives you like incentives to try to push you to use other combinations and stuff. So I'm enjoying that a lot, but... Wish my summon luck was a little bit better, but it could be worse. It could be worse, so... And then guilds. The only thing about guilds right now, there's really nothing to do. Eventually they're going to have a guild dungeon that's going to be coming. But for the most part, it's like, you know, it's just another thing to, another way to get multiplayer units in your parties for when you need them, so... But anyways, I've had to like work too much, so I really need to actually sit down and play this game a bit more. So, anyways, guys, that's been a recap. I'll probably make like 1 or 2 guide videos today, and then I'm just gonna go stream this later on. So, catch you guys later on. Hope you're having a good day. Peace out.